Good morning, guys, and let's start with the first video on core Java. This is an introductory video, and we will be seeing how to type a program in Java, how to compile it, and how to execute it. So, I mentioned it in stepwise format. So, the first step will be you need to code the program, you need to write the source code, and for that, we need to use a text editor. So we have two very prominent text editors. You have many text editors. You can choose with whatever you feel comfortable. So usually we use the Notepad or the Notepad plus plus editor. But my recommendation for y'all is to use the Notepad plus plus. The reason I say this is because the Notepad plus plus has these sort of lines. So if there are any errors, the compiler will tell you error at line number 16. So you know an error is at this line. The notepad doesn't give you this facility. Notepad doesn't give you the demarcation of the lines. So if you're writing a code in notepad, very seldom will you see. So if this is the code, so if there is an error at any particular line, you are not able to debug it easily. So it becomes very easier to code in notepad plus plus. So that is my recommendation, that we use notepad plus plus. But in your college lab they might not have it, so it's up to you, whatever you feel comfortable with. So if you are using at home on your personal laptop, then you can download the notepad plus plus from this link. I'll be sharing this file, the link of this file which I'm using over here, in the description box, so you can use this as a manual. So let's write a simple hello world program. So let's open a text editor. So in Java, whatever code you write should be within a class. So I'm writing a class and I'm giving it a name. My okay, have I given any name? It's the class name is hello world. So you can give whatever name you wish to. So okay, let's stick to the manual. So hello world. So this is a class. Now you have two types of programmers. One sect of programmers is they write this curly bracket open over here on the very same line. This is trending nowadays, and this is looks more professional. So it's up to you. So you can set a standard for yourself. How do you code? So we'll be sticking to this format for core Java. So the curly bracket will open on the very same line. So I have named the class as hello world. In Java, we follow the init cap naming font to name your classes. So the H is capital and the W is capital. Had this class been my first Java, so you would have written it as my first Java. M capital, F capital, and J capital. So we'll revert back to the file name. Oh, the class name is hello. And the main method is always within a class. In Java, the main method is not outside the class. In C++, we had the main method outside the class. So, but in Java, we write the main method or the main function inside the class. And it is prefixed by three keywords: public, static, void, all in small letters. Beware guys, Java is case sensitive. So the capital P and the small p are two different keywords. Public starting with capital P is a different keyword, and public starting with a small p is a different keyword. So Java does observe case sensitivity. Static with a capital S is not same as the static with a small s. So this, if you write a static with a capital S, it might throw error. It surely will throw an error at compile time. So, and Then you have the main function. So we have public static void main PSVM, and in the brackets we have a string, array of string, and here the string is the capital S, because it's an inbuilt class. So Java, all the names of the inbuilt classes start with the capital. So that's why we are following the same style how Java codes. So even we will write our name of the class with capitals. So string is an inbuilt class in Java. So this S is capital, and you have an array of this class. So the array name is args. This is not a predefined name. If you wish, you can give the name A also. If you wish, you can give the name ABC also. If you wish, you can give whatever name you feel comfortable with. But the textbooks they use args, so we will stick to args. So this is the entire syntax of writing main function. And now you have two curly brackets which will show open and close of main. Now same, if you feel this style of programming appropriate, wherein this curly brackets open curly bracket comes on the fresh line, you can follow this, or we can stick to this. So yeah, it goes over. Now whatever you wish to display, you can type in over here. In C we had printf function to print. In C++ we had cout to display on the console. In Java we have is system dot out dot print, and a new line will be fed after the print. So you have print, as well as you have function called as print ln. So if you want to print, because usually what we would do in Java is after the print, so if I wanted to print over here hello world in C++, what would I do? I would write this, and I would usually write a endl, so that the next output comes on the new line. So this ln is doing the job of the endl. So it will display, and automatically whatever you print next will come on a fresh line. So we will remove. So this was to display on the console in C, display on the console in C++, and this is how you display on the console in Java. So I'll remove this, and this is a function. So we'll write, put the brackets and the semicolon after the statement, and whatever you wish to display over here you can write over here. So I am writing a keyword Enumtech, and I'll put today's date over here, so that we know it's our statement which has been printed. Okay, but this S is kept. So in the entire program which I've written over here, this cap string is a class, so S should be capital. This system is a class, so S should be capital. So Java follows this naming convention of naming the classes with a capital letter. So we will also follow Java's style. So all the global programmers who program in Java follow this style in naming the class. They always start the class with a capital letter. So if the class name was only hello, it would have been capital H. But now as the class contains two words, so we will be following the init cap style, initial letter capital. So H will be capital and W will be capital. This is not compulsory. If you don't write this, it will not throw an error. This also is perfectly fine. User defined classes which the user is defining, it's up to the user how he or she names it. So but as Java follows this style of naming classes with a capital, we also will follow the professionals way. So we will write the classes like this, capital H and capital W. Okay, now I am giving you all a mantra. Memorize this mantra. This will be very helpful for you all in programming in Java. Java, you can have multiple classes in one source code. In one notepad file, you can have multiple classes, but only one single class can be made public. So if I have a class hello world, with that I can also have a class student. Okay, some data will be there inside the student class. I can also have alongside it class teacher, and some data will be there inside the class teacher. Now how many classes in all am I having in this source code? In total I am having till now 3 classes, namely Which all? Student. Okay, first hello world. I'm having three classes, namely hello world, student, and teacher. So if you observe over here, I've written student also with a capital S, teacher also with a capital T. But now from these three classes, which class is containing the main method? Which class? Hello world, student, or teacher? Correct. Hello world. So the class which is containing the main will always be made public. Will always be made public. So does student contain main? No. Does teacher contain main? No, because this main is a single method. So which class will be made public out of these three, student, teacher, and hello world? The class which contains main is made public. If I were to write hello world in the student class, if this would have happened, now what would you do? Now you would have removed the public from hello world and added the public to where? Stud. Yes. So the class which contains main is made public. So we will revert back to a setting. So that's why we always write a class which is containing main as public. So I'll remove this. And program. So the first step was you write the code. Once you have written the code, second step is to save. Now how do you save the program? You go to file, go to save. Now while saving the program, what you have to do is you have to make, so you can, okay, I've written the steps over here. You can create a folder at any location of your choice, C drive, D drive, E drive. So I have made this sort of a hierarchy of folders, a tree structure of folders. So in which drive have I made it? In D drive. So if you wish to navigate in my computer, D drive where then I made a folder called as TYBCA 2020. Avoid giving spaces in your folder names. Don't give TYBCA space 2020. If you want to separate it by a underscore, TYBCA underscore 2020, but avoid giving spaces. So I have a folder called as TYBCA 2020. Yes. Then I have a folder called as SEM5. Yes. Then I have a folder called as Core Java. Yes. Now how many files are there in this Core Java folder? 0 files. So I'll save my program which I have written in this file. So I've already navigated over here. So it's D drive, then we'll go to TY2020, SEM5 and Core Java. And here I will save the program. How will I save the program by? So the mantra for that is you always save the, see over here, I've given you all a nutshell. A program in Java can have multiple classes as discussed. We had hello world, student, teacher, but at most only one class can be made public. Max to max, at most you can make only one class as public. And which is that class which is made public? The class containing the main method is made public. So what was the name of the class which contained a main method? The name of the class was hello world, right? So program is saved by the class name which is public. So program will be saved as what? Hello world, with the extension as what? So you can just copy paste the name. So you can see here what I'm doing. I'm just copying the name of the class and with the what? .java extension. So you will save it hello world. So I'm saving it as hello world with the extension .java and save. Advised to use init cap font style, as mentioned earlier. Advised to use init cap font style while naming a class. So example, if the class name is Virat Kohli, you will have a capital V, capital K. If the class name is Mahendra Singh Dhoni, you will have a capital M, S, capital M, capital S, capital D. So now when I save this, what happens in my core Java folder? I have a file hello world.java which is, and it shows over here one item. So if you want to see it over here. Class is created at just 724 and here also it is 720. So what? So now you have one file in this folder core Java, right? It's one. It is showing one item over here. So we have completed the two steps. We have completed the two steps of coding and as well as saving. So you have been given the mantra, right? How to save it. So the class which contains main is made public, and the class which is public program is saved by that class name with a .java extension. Simple rule in naming all your Java files. The class which contains main is made public, and the class which is public, the program is saved by that name. Now let's go to the third step. Okay, the last folder is called the present working directory. So in the D drive we have TYBCA 2020 folder, then we have SEM5 folder, and we have core Java folder. Now which folder are we in? This folder, what is the name of this folder? This folder is core Java, the last folder in the hierarchy, in the tree structure. This is called as present working directory. It's called as PWD, present working directory. So in the above example, we have the PWD name is core Java. Okay. Now done with the, now we need to compile the code. Now we need to, once we have written the code, now we need to compile. See, the reason why I tell you all to use Notepad++, there's one more advantage. Along with having the line structure, and the font also is quite visible, and many other features are there. It's now if I wish to compile this code, and had I written this code in a Notepad file, then how do we compile the code in a Notepad? This is the steps I have given. So first you go to the start button and type what? In the start button, what do you type? Type in CMD. So I go over here, type CMD, and I get a terminal. This is called as terminal, and in Linux they refer this as terminal. In Windows we call it as the command prompt. So this is the command prompt you get. Now if you are using Notepad, then what we have to do is we have to navigate the entire, we have to navigate till the PWD. We have to navigate till the PWD. So which direct drive is the PWD? In D drive. So first you have to change. So now we are in which drive? By default it brings you to C drive. Then you have to change the drive. To change the drive you have to give the drive name followed by colon and hit enter. I'll just increase the font for you all so that if it makes it visible. This is the maximum we have. The maximum font we have. So it makes it visible. So D, now where are we? D drive. Now from D drive, where do we have to go? We have to go to TYBCA. So now from the drive, when you want to shift to a folder, you have to give CD, change directory, and which one? T. You can use your tab button. So how many folders do you have with T in D drive? There are very few. There's hardly there. In my drive there are only two. So I can use a tab key. So if I use my tab key, it will help me. Okay, again give the tab key. Okay, TYBC, enter. Now see, I'm navigating inside. Now in TYBC, where do I have to go? I have to go to SEM5. So again I have to give CD, and as I give SE and I give a tab, it prompts me. Hit enter. Now I've come to SEM5. SEM5, where do I have to go? Core Java. So you have to do CD, and if I just give C, it will come over here, and I have come to my present working directory. So if you are using Notepad, you have to do these navigations manually. You have to do this. Now you can compile. If this is the when if you are using Notepad. If you are using Notepad++, it's very easy to navigate. So I have mentioned the steps over here. To compile the program, so first step is to open the command prompt. This is how I have showed you all to open the command prompt. So if you're using Notepad plus plus, if you're using Notepad, the regular Notepad, so you have to go to start, type cmd, go to command, and then you have to navigate. Then you have to, this will open. This is called as a command prompt or terminal, and then you have to navigate to the folder. Navigate to the folder. You have to navigate to the folder. So you have to first change the drive, then cd, blah blah blah, and then you come to your present working directory. But if you are using Notepad plus plus, here is the shortcut. So what you have to go, just go to file, open containing folder, and go to cmd. So as I am using Notepad plus plus, simple, file, open containing folder, and go to cmd. Directly it leads me to my present working directory. So the choice is yours, which editor you are comfortable with. So at least if in college they don't have Notepad plus plus, in college do it in Notepad in your practicals, but at home try to install Notepad plus plus. It becomes very easy. So now I have come to my present working directory. Okay, this was, now how do I compile? To compile you have the command java c. Java c stands for Java compiler. Give the space and give the name of the Java file. So how will we do? Java, and all small, no write in capital, Java C space, and here also you can use the tab button. So now as I have only one file and I give the tab, but hit the tab button, I get over here hello world dot, while compiling you have to give the extension dot java. So while compiling you have to give the extension dot java. This extension is compulsory. So you have to give Java C hello world dot java and hit enter, hit the enter key. So if there are zero errors, it will lead you to the next line. So this will, and yeah, the most important part over here, this will create a hello world dot class file in the present working directory. When we had just written the source code, we had taken the snapshot. So when we had just saved, how many items were there? As I recollected earlier, as I had shown you earlier, we had only one item. But now as we have compiled the code, what happens is the Java C creates one extra file for you known as the class file, and it is also stored in the present working directory. So now if you go to the present working directory, you will see two files over there. You will see two files. See over here, you will see two files, dot class and dot java. This was created at 7:24 and it took us 7 minutes to compile, and after the compilation we have the hello world dot class. So dot java file, dot class file, this is the source file. So if I right click this and open it with Notepad, I can see the source code in human readable form. But this class file is the byte code, it is machine language. This is the machine instruction, it is called as native code. So these are machine instructions. So this can be read and executed only by the machine, not by humans. Humans cannot read this file. So if I open this, we will not be able to interpret this file. See, we can't interpret this file because this is machine readable code, not human readable code. So we have .java as your source code, human readable form, and this is the .class, which is machine code, also called as byte code. So now we have two files. How many items do we have after compilation? Two items. The second item is called as the class file. So I have showed this with my diagrams over here also. So see, before the compilation we had one item, only hello world dot java file, the source code, and now after we have compiled and we have come on the next line, when we come to the next line means the code has compiled successfully, and you have now two items. How many items do we have? And you have an extra called as the hello world dot class. So this is the compilation also has completed. So the three steps have been done. Which are they? Coding, saving, and compiling. Now we go to the fourth step. We have to run the code now. So how to run it? Once it is successfully compiled, we have to execute the code. To execute the code, you have to go and type Java, only Java. Type only Java and the name of the class file. What is the class file name? Hello world. No extension. Don't give any extension. Just the name of the class file is sufficient. So how do we type it? By typing Java. What is the command to execute the code? Java, and the name of the class file in the terminal command prompt. Okay, so I have mentioned over here the screenshot. Type Java space and the Java file name without the extension, and when I run this, what output am I expecting? I'm expecting Enumtech 2nd June 2020. So when I run this, yeah, I get the output, and that's all. So this is a simple way of how you should program in Scratch in Java. I hope you all enjoyed this session. So do like and subscribe to the video, and in the comments let me know if you all have any comments to share. Till we meet next time, bye and take care.